Hey guys, I'm Will Bender, and today I have a very special guest with me today. Today I have joining with me Spade AK. He played in the World Cup and the Siege event. Spade AK, go ahead and say hey.
Hi, how's
Awesome.
everyone tonight?
Really glad to have you on this interview today. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been playing Clash of Kings? Just general information for the audience.
I've been playing Clash of Kings for 2.5, almost 3 years now, and love every minute of it.
That's what we love to
I
hear.
am super excited.
Awesome. Which kingdom are you a part of?
I'm from Kingdom 544, previously 547. We merged with 544.
Oh yeah, gotta love those merges. What's your current power and castle level?
I just actually reached 100 million power, and I'm a P5 working on phase 5, almost 6 of my P6.
Wow, that's impressive. Awesome. That's really good. So we have you here today. Basically, we knew that you were part of the World Cup during the group matching stage, and I believe you told me that your alliance was somewhere within the top 200.
Yes, we only lost 2 matches, and we weren't in the top 100 to know exactly what we were, and I can't remember ever getting a message what ranking we were exactly, but we did really good.
Awesome. How'd you feel about the World Cup gameplay?
I actually loved World Cup. It was my favorite event COC has ever, Clash Kings have ever put out. It was more strategic based playing versus who's got the bigger castle. My alliance, we don't have. I mean, we've got some P6s and stuff. We're a strong alliance, but a lot of the time we would face just super abnormally strong alliances, and a little outmatched sometimes. But we would win based on strategy. But World Cup is a straight across the board, even playing field, and we've always had to play smart and
Of course, absolutely.
great for me and my alliance, and it was really a good good thing that Clash of Kings put out it. And
I'm sure that you benefited your team greatly. Do you have any goals for the next season with the Dragon campaign and the World Cup? I mean, obviously, besides getting first place, obviously, but do you have any like really good goals that you're trying to set for?
I my goal is to try to just play our best and get all 15 people active because I've got people from all around the world, and we've got probably dozen people from the U.S. So we had to kind of mix and match people and make sure the three time frames that we were given would suit everybody and we could everybody to play. So I'd just like to be in the top 50 personally, but I mean the top 10 would be a huge goal for me, at least in the top 10.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if you're setting yourself a nice little bar right now, I mean, once you reach that, I mean, the sky's the limit. But I think top 50 is a really reachable goal. From what I've seen from your
Yep.
gameplay and how your team coordinates, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And you never know who you could possibly recruit from here and then. So, I mean, definitely
Yep.
much grats to that.
We'll
So,
have I'm sure another merge before then, so I'm sure we'll make something.
I'm absolutely certain that you will. So let's talk about the Savage Siege night because that was just recently. Did you enjoy yourself during that time?
It was probably one of the coolest moments in my life. Actually, I really enjoyed it. It was great meeting people, and it was just a really good time. Learned a lot and made a lot of good friends with it. So it was a fabulous moment.
Absolutely. How'd you feel about joining such an event for the first time? I mean, I think this was a lot of people's first time experiences, including yourself. So, from a first-hander's experience, how'd that feel joining that for the very first time?
My mind was blown from the word go. When I got the invite, I didn't believe it until I was sitting in the airport. And then when I got to the airport, I didn't believe I was actually going to go on stage until I was sitting on the stage. So, I mean, it was just a phenomenal thing across the board. I mean, they did a really great job with it. It was a really appreciative, and I was honored in the aspect that I was even invited to something so extravagant.
Well, yeah. For some people, that's a once in a lifetime or never in a lifetime experience. So I'm sure that you'll cherish that for as long as you need to. And you've also been playing at a lot of the Savage Siege test runs. How did it feel? How did that gameplay actually feel during the Savage Siege?
I really liked it. It was a bit of getting used to. It was a little different than the World Cup, just based on the amount of players, and then the different equipment setups and stuff like that. But I loved it too. It was a great time, and I mean, like I said, when I'm playing with a different castle and it's more strategic play, I feel equally against all the other players versus being the underdogs. So I loved it. I mean, it was a great time.
Yeah, and you've obviously taken part in both of those events. Did you notice any differences that you wanted to share with the crowd between gameplay between the World Cup and the Savage Siege?
Just the number of people was a little bit different. World Cup, we had, I believe, 15 people, and the Savage Siege we only had 10. We had P6 troops in the World Cup versus P5 troops in the Savage Siege event. So, and then we had a couple of extra heroes in the World Cup, and just minimal things, but enough to make a big difference if you aren't used to the setup of the thing and the layout. So it was fun.
I'm going off a little off script here, but did you have a preference between which one you like? Because, like you said, there were P6 troops within the World Cup, and there was a little bit of equipment setup differences between the two. If you had to pick one over again, being the World Cup format or the Savage Siege, which one would you prefer?
Honestly, they both had their pros and they both had their cons. I loved the fact that the P6 troops were available, but I didn't properly, not being a P6, know how to function. So going into the prayer hall and all that stuff was just kind of new to me. And it took actually a couple events just to kind of get used to everything and having like the right troop layout. So comfortable wise, I felt more comfortable in the Savage Siege event because I was used to the P5 troop. I know what to send. I know marches. I know what size of marches I'm going to have. I know what equipment to send people with. And the World Cup was just great because it was the first time we all had an equal playing field. So, I mean, like I said, they both had their pros and they both had, I can't even say a con. So, differences. So they were both great to play, and I was just happy to play either one of them.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you said that because when I was doing the test runs, I felt the exact same way. I thought they were going to have P6 troops, and being a P5 myself, I've never dealt with P6 troops. So this was a nice little, I'm not going to say it's a lower intensity form, though maybe it is, than the World Cup, but for someone like me who's never experienced the P6 troops, I was able to be fully immersed within the game without having to learn a whole new set before my time. So I'm actually really happy that you said that. I'm sure there were many other people who thought the exact same way. What's the most important thing that you got out of the Savage Siege event?
Honestly, meeting all of you guys, and
Aw.
I mean, just it was friends that I'll probably never not have or not talk to again. I mean, I'm going to have these people around forever, and groups and the strategies that I heard, and I got a lot of experience on my game just based on how to set up different heroes and different equipments and what sciences to train. So I learned a lot just on the aspect of building my castle up, different strategies of different top players in the.
Yeah, it's definitely something else when you're in like a chat, when you're in like the in-game chat and there's no voice involved, whereas you're like talking with some of the biggest players in the game face to face. You can just keep swapping back ideas.
Yeah, and watching them set up their castles and stuff through their phone and actually seeing it with my eyes is huge.
I can't tell you how many times my roommate Jake was giving me so much information. I'm like, ooh, I've got to pass that along to my attacking buddy. I got to use this information. Right. I have to take advantage of this while I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great time and fabulous people, and it was a great group of people. You couldn't have asked for any better group, and I mean, we all had our intentions of going there and performing our best, and I mean, you couldn't have asked for a tighter, closer, tougher battle. I've never been in one like that in my entire 2.5 years of fighting dragon campaigns and World Cup. Nothing. I mean, it was a fight. So it was a great time.
So, dumb question alert. Would you ever join a similar event in the future if you were so privileged?
I couldn't get there fast enough.
That's the right answer.
I would absolutely love to partake in another event like this.
Well, excellent. So I guess since we're wrapping up here, I'm going to go ahead and give you your time for some shout-outs. What would you like to say to the Clash of King community during this third year anniversary time?
Don't get discouraged. Keep chugging along. Upgrade one thing at a time. I'd like to say hi to all of my FFS members, Touched by Fire. We've been through a lot, and we're striving and getting bigger every day. And a lot of thanks to my family, friends, and support and everything. I mean, it's just been great. Don't just get discouraged and keep going. I mean, it's a great game, and it's not even about the game at this point. It's about the people that
You know it, bud.
several times, but it's the people that I've met in the game that makes it worth the game.
Well, Spade AK, it's been an absolute privilege having you on this interview. I'm sure your insightful information will be great to everyone who watches this, to any prospective people who want to grow to be in your type of professional position, who may want to get invited to these events. I guess I forgot to ask you this during like during our pre-interview. Is there any social media that you want to shout out for people to go to, like a Twitter account or a YouTube or anything like that?
Nope, I don't have any YouTubes or Twitter accounts at all. I just have a Facebook account, and I'm a boy from Wyoming, so I don't keep up with all of it.
That's totally understandable. Well, then I'll go ahead and use mine now. If you guys want to get any more information based on Clash of Kings, make sure you guys go to their Facebook page. Follow them. You'll get all the latest information. If you'd like to see more videos that I'll be doing, you can go ahead and go to youtube.com/willbender. You'll see all of my tutorial videos as well as this interview here. You can also follow my live streams on twitch.tv/willbender0026. Well, Spade AK, thank you very much for your time, and for everyone else out there, we will see you on the battlefield.